Hello and welcome everyone. This is Cybercast Ep52, the Transformer video podcast. I am G1 Hextron, and you can find me at Twitter, YouTube, Twitch TV, and all that stuff at G1 Hextron. And looks like we're joined by our guest, so I'll let Jaim introduce him as well. But Dakota, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Dakota. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter and Xbox and all that stuff at PrimalSabbath.
And I am Jaim. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at VictorySaber77. And I want to just do a quick little thing about the Aftercast. If you want to be on the Aftercast, email me at YouTube at the Cybercast Network, not VictorySaber77, just so I can't have two YouTube accounts open at the same time. Or if you follow me on Twitter, just direct message me there. But we are joined by our special guest here, Paul Optibotimus. And I think your mic
is muted.
Muted.
Yeah, Paul, you're gonna have to unmute yourself, bro.
He's like, technology in my old days and old people stuff.
I can't even unmute him. So,
Yeah, he's gonna have to unmute himself. There's a little microphone with a slash through it.
There we go.
There we
go.
Back in my day, I used to talk to people face to face, not through this crazy interwebs.
That's right.
You used to talk to your neighbors through cans with a string tied to both ends.
Yeah.
And that was like the oh my god, this is like a genius idea. Like I can talk to someone that's not even here. So
I can't remember what I saw a long time ago. That was one of those I don't even know what they're actually called, memes or whatever. Is that what
Mimes?
they are?
Memes. It's a meme.
Again, I'm not that. Yeah, memes. Whatever. MEME or whatever. I saw one that said that I'm going to tell my kids that I'm older than the internet and I'm going to blow their mind. And that's me. I'm older than dirt. Crazy. Let's see here.
Well, if you guys watching, if you haven't catched Cybercast that Paul was actually on, he was actually on as one of our very first guests early on to the Cybercast. So, and he also replaced Dakota for one episode when no one was going to be able to, join with me, and I was basically just going to be sitting there talking by myself. So that probably would have had the average view time maybe 2 minutes or something like that. But you've been a really big part of the show and help us grow. I know a lot of people enjoyed having you on, and to help us out there in the very beginning, because let's be honest, the Cybercast wasn't always that great in the very beginning. I mean, we didn't even have a name for it on episode 1, and to kind of reminisce about that, we actually had someone by cell phone on speaker, and I held it up to the mic. So
that was back when it was Pretty King and Friends.
Yeah. So, thanks a lot for coming on with us.
You're making fun of me with the whole cans and the string kind of communicating. Okay.
No, I wasn't even making fun. I'm 2 years right behind you, so I'm not far behind.
That's true. That is true. I mean, I don't always agree with your views per se. Most of them I think are full of crap. But you are a hilarious person regardless, and every time I can sit here and have a conversation, it's always good fun. So I appreciate you. Any time that you invite me, I always appreciate it. It's just a matter of getting me to sit in front of this thing for longer than I feel like doing. And every now and then you get the reins around me and you pull me in. And this being your 1 year show, I was like, I got to figure out something. So here I am. Hi, the old man is here.
The old man.
Yeah, and we're going to have
I'm the only one
that's
on
as
a spry
well.
chicken, or a spry rooster, because a chicken is a lady. But yeah, all of you guys are really old.
Yeah, and we thought we were going to have Protoman on as well, but I guess our communication got mixed up there. But if he, maybe he'll end up joining the show a little bit later. Also, TJ, he may end up joining, but if not, more than likely he'll end up joining the Aftercast. So We're going to go ahead and start
If
a
you
little
get-
bit of
if you get
screen share.
Protoman in the show, if you get him here on the show, prepare to just not have any conversation at all. It'll just be him talking.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we kind of saw that a couple episodes
Yeah.
ago.
He's I mean, the amount of knowledge that the man has is ridiculous. He's like a Canadian. Well, I can't even say that because Alex Trebek is Canadian. I was going to say he's a Canadian Alex Trebek, but he's the amount of knowledge that man has is staggering. But there's so much in his brain that it just when you open it up, it just comes out. I love him to death, but he's got diarrhea of the mouth, and and he just goes and he goes and he goes, and if you're able to get a word in edgewise with him, congratulations, because that's a feat in and of itself.
He kind of reminds me. There's a show called Criminal Minds, and there's like this one young guy or whatever, and like he just has like all this knowledge that they'd be like, yeah, so blah 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 happened in, how many hotels are in Las Vegas? He's like, there's blah 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 hotels, there's blah 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 motels, there's blah 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 like rental houses, and it's like, why do you know that? So it's kind of like that.
And a hotel has a swimming pool where a motel
Very true.
does not, and that's what I know.
All right, so going ahead and getting into the news, we do have a website up, guys. It is www.cybercastnetwork.com. You can find some of the blog entries, which we'll get into here in a second. We also have some video reviews on there, the podcast archives, the forum section, all the news as well. Also, we have some shirts that are going to be coming in probably beginning or mid next week, so here just in the next few days. If you are interested in getting one of these shirts, this is the design that it's going to be. It's going to be this logo with the font of the cybercastnetwork.com there at the bottom in all lowercase letters. It's going to be a black shirt, and then this is going to be, instead of a green, it's going to be kind of like a bright or a bright fluorescent kind of blue. It's just kind of like a bright blue, and it's really going to pop and stand out, which I think will look really nice. So if you're interested in getting one of these shirts, it is in the forum section, general discussion, and what are your Cybercast Network shirt. Just put in what size you're wanting, and I've got all the information up top here. Second thing is a couple of blog posts. This first one is by Dakota, or PrimalSabbath, your Cybercast Countdown to Botcon Part 2. And what years are you kind of going over in this one?
96 and 97. Basically, the kind of older stuff where it was like one figure instead of 13 for 96 at least. 97 is whenever it was kind of like a box set sort of thing with two figures and just all the kind of merchandise that was available, be it exclusive wise or not, and a couple of images of some of the stuff that I had the fortune of being able to take the pictures of. That way I didn't have to hunt them down on the internet. So.
All right, and real quick on Jaim or Victory77, your new blog post is Legend of Brave, and it's just kind of covering the toys here. So this is the second one in that series. You want to tell people what they can expect on this one?
I just go over the toys. I just look at the Takara, Sonokong, CMS Corp, Bandai's Super Robot Shigoken line. Just different, what they are, how they came about, what's the gimmick behind them, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and you made me really jealous. This all chromed out Great Goldran. Oh man, I'm sure that's a pretty penny. All right, and this is up on the Hasbro.com website. Basically, you can download a wallpaper. So if you want one of these little Creos or something like that, wallpapers, then you can do so. And there's also some Bayformer stuff in there for Paul. There's a lot of Bayformer stuff. But it's
real quick. Oh, go for it.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say we have some comments here.
Okay. This is at Hasbro.com, and it's under the Play section right there, and you can find these if you want to download that. All right, now go ahead and cover the comments, and we'll get into the next thing.
Okay. Dalton says, What's up, guys? Nice to see Paul is able to join again. Punch, counterpunch. Congrats on the 1-year anniversary. And Charles says, happy 1-year anniversary and welcome, Optibotimus. And we really do appreciate you being on here, Paul. Really cool.
Charles.
All right, and
Like I said, it's always an honor. It's always an honor. It's just for me. I was talking about this earlier. It's a. How do I say this without sounding like a douchebag? This is my job. So when I don't have to sit here, I don't like sitting here. I always use the example: if you work at McDonald's, when you're not working, you don't want to hang out at McDonald's. So when I don't have to be in this room, I'm as far away from it as possible. So usually that's the weekend for me. So I try to get away from it on the weekend. But there's certain little annoying people that are named G1 Hexatron.
Oh yeah.
That try to get me here. I love you. I'm just joking.
I know.
You know, we need to get Count Marzo in here for something sometime.
I'm
need to do
actually
that.
sending the links to Protoman right now, so maybe he will end up joining us. I had to make sure that I said that this is the link for only you, and then here is the link for the fans, because last time he took that first link and put it on his Twitter, and then we just had people like popping in and just like, you know, watching or staring at us. It was like, I don't remember. I have no idea who these people are. And he's like, oh, you know, these are people on my Twitter page and stuff. I was like, oh, Jesus.
And it's totally cool knowing that people are staring at us through a computer screen, but once we can see them staring at us, it's like that's when it becomes not okay.
A little creepy.
Yeah.
All right, so I am letting him know that we are...
that first week and put it on Twitter, and then we just have people like popping in and just like, you know,
what is that?
He's watching it, I believe.
Okay, yeah, my turn the volume down on that.
who people are, and he's like, oh.
You like that part so much that you had to...
knowing that people are staring at us through it's like, that's when it becomes not okay.
A little creepy.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Why is it going to Twilight Zone?
Yeah, let's... All right, Paul, if you'll turn that down, then we'll get into the news here. The first thing is the Dakota version of the Armada Starscream. So we get our kind of our second look at the pictures here, and there he is in box.
So I was actually in Walmart earlier today, and saw the Hasbro version, and I've had the Takara version on pre-order, and I went ahead and picked up the Hasbro version because I really like the comics, and the Takara ones don't come with comics. But I'm still like insanely looking forward to the Takara version. Hasbro version's nice, but not as nice as that Takara.
Yeah, you can see him in jet mode and robot mode with comparisons there, and I'm just like, there's so much difference here, and that Takara one looks amazing. I'll probably end up selling or giving away that Hasbro one. So, and there he is with the little mini cons right there. Any of you guys have anything else to say about this?
Make it into a Die Atlas.
Oh, yes, definitely.
All right, and the next thing here is going to be the mini cons. And Paul, I think you said that you weren't a big fan of these guys as far as the Hasbro versions. Here's the Dakar. I don't know if that will, you know, change your tune on it or anything, but what do you think about these mini bots? Is he muted?
No,
You there?
I wonder if he turned his volume all the way down for us.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
Well, anyways, what do you guys think?
You know, I have the Hasbro ones, and you know, it was a cool little character. He's kind of like my stand-in for Micronus Prime of one of the original 13s. So it wasn't really it's not really a necessity for me to pick up the Takara version. It doesn't look like there's that much difference between them.
And you have the Hasbro ones over here on the left and the Takara on the right, so you can kind of see a little bit of difference there.
I can't see the amount of money to pay for a Takara over the Hasbro just for a tad bit darker shade of green. You know, I don't know.
All right, and looks like we're also joined by Protoman. So I guess whenever he unmutes his mic, well, I'm sure he'll have plenty to say there. All right, next thing is the Henkei Decepticon Specialist Galvatron, Astrotrain, and Octane. So these are kind of the final images of these guys. So you can see that they painted them all up and look all that nice shiny there. Still, I don't like the mold of this Galvatron, but it does look better than the other ones released.
It makes it look a lot better than even the Henkei version and the Challenge at Cybertron. But I'm still, you know, I mean, I was on Twitter about this earlier, really thinking about picking up Mania King.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm actually debating that with myself and my finances.
You're willing to take the odds, huh?
Dude, 50-50, worst comes to worst, I just send it back. Hey, man, you sent me a floppy one. I want a tight one.
All right.
That is probably one of the worst train modes. I hate that. That Astro Train is so ugly looking. I don't like it. And Octane. So hopefully we end up getting these guys kind of a new version as well, like they did with the Springer and Sandstorm. And, you know, I'm not really going to mention the other ones that came out, but hopefully they end up doing all the triple changers. And yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, I think he told us to hang on a minute.
No, he's getting his volume situation worked out.
Probably.
Getting his collar popped and stuff. The next thing is the Henkei Autobot Specialist Ironhide Hound and Mirage. So this is something that you had a question about, Dakota, because you really couldn't see the you know, sparkly paint that they end up putting on these guys. So these are the final images, so you can see exactly what they're going to look like. Does this warrant buying any of these guys?
I mean, it's all up to if someone missed them initially, I guess. I know you can still pick up Hound and Ironhide and even Mirage fairly cheap, especially if you don't go the eBay route. I mean, I don't know. The sparkly paint's nice, and Mirage is more, I guess, G1 accurate compared to his Classics version. But I don't know. It's you know, I sold my Mirage and my Ironhide because I just didn't need them anymore. So it's kind of irrelevant for me.
Now, didn't the Henkeis have like more chrome?
Yeah.
Released with like Ironhide.
Every Henkei had something that was chrome on it.
Okay.
Even if it was just a missile.
Yeah.
In the case of Dinobot.
And almost everything, every car with a spoiler, the spoiler was guaranteed to be chromed.
Usually, yeah.
All right, next thing is the first in-hand images of Crosscut. This is from an eBay seller. But you kind of get the general look at this. I mean, we're basically looking at, was it skids, you know, a repaint, and so it's got a different head as well, and still those big shovel feet.
Not bad.
I wish they would.
Just doing something with the mold.
Wish they would have listed the rat trap instead. I would. I'd probably go a little stupid on that one.
It needs to come with a scooter.
I want to get a road rage with that crosscut. That'd be kind of cool.
Real quick, Optibotimus. I don't know if your mic is not hooked up or something, because it looks like you're making sounds but not. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Oh, so okay, so that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the mic or what. They want him to like talk the entire time. Like, yeah, guys, thanks for not giving me any time to talk.
All right, so I guess once we work out these technical issues. Now, Protoman, you did send out the right link to people and not the wrong one, right? We're not gonna have,
otherwise we'd be bombarded with a bunch of people.
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier, so, and Also, thanking you as well because you were on the show, just a couple of weeks ago as well, and you were willing to come on last week, but didn't want you to have to come on several shows right there in a row. So basically, thanking you for joining us for our 1-year anniversary, along with Paul as well, and we're gonna do that aftercast again tonight on this exact same channel. So if you want to join that, then you're more than welcome.
You know what?
But
Thank you.
yeah, we'll see what happens. So, all right, the next thing.
Funny how this is like Josh's 52nd episode, but this is like my, I think, 51st or 50th.
Yeah, I've been on every single one of them. So,
Yeah.
all right, the only thing that's a little bit kiddish that we'll be covering, I guess you could say, is the TF4 Dino Sparkers, and they even had these back in G1, with the Spark bots and stuff like that, where you had Flame Feather and I forget all the little names, but you have Grimlock and a very lack of detail as far as paint goes is Optimus Prime. You can see them there. Main reason I wanted to bring this up is you can see that you're going to have Autobot Drift and Dinobot Slug, or Slag there. So that was something that you're kind of curious about, if Drift was going to be kind of a mercenary or a Decepticon or Autobot. Am I right there, Dakota?
And we know now he's a Dino Rider.
Yeah. So he wears trip pants. Got you. But no, I was wondering if his origins, if they were going to cover his origins in the story. But so it's still not really answering my question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Bay movie, so
Yeah.
how much are those? I mean, because we all learned about Sideswipe's origin and Sideways and
Yeah.
everyone else.
Turns out Drift used to be called Bludgeon. And that's
Gosh.
All right, a few new photos of MP21 Masterpiece Bumblebee. You can see that there's a Autobot symbol right here, and it's kind of a cutout square. And whenever we look at some of the photos of him in his Volkswagen Bug mode, this is actually flat. So it looks like this is going to be kind of a gimmick to where maybe this turns or flips over or something like that. And you can see kind of the face right there. I do have the little faceplate to show you. There he is with the exosuit, which I'm going to think that this is Spike.
It is going to probably be Spike.
Yeah.
Because, see, like, part of me wants to say that it's Daniel, and the other part of me says it's Spike, but I think it's mostly going to be Spike because in the '86 movie they were together, in the famous, shit scene.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and
I don't know what the swearing limit is on this Cybercast, but so chances are it's probably Spike because of the Moonbase 2 scene.
yeah, and most people will probably recognize him as far as it being more Daniel, I guess, afterwards, and whenever he ends up, like, he's in his exosuit, but then he transforms and he turns into RC's head. But whenever whenever they did in the movie as well, Daniel says, it's Dad's old exosuit. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There, this is. It looks like you put a jet ski up on this thing, man.
Paul, are you back with us, man?
Yep.
All right, I think we fixed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
My wonderful singing cured it. That's what it was.
And you can also take off his face here.
Gonna be an idol this season, huh? That face, that kind of like mask-looking face. Man, if they repainted that mold like a kind of mix between a blue and a baby blue, yeah, and then call it Glyph, I'd buy it. That'd get me hooked.
I pretty much figure that's what they're going to have to do with that mold because, I mean, if we're talking repaint potential, like I could see an e-hobby Glyph. You know what I mean? Like I could see, I can't see Cliff Jumper. I don't know why everyone keeps saying that. Like
I can't either.
You have to completely remold the toy from like top to bottom for it to be Cliff Jumper. No one wants a red Bumblebee. Maybe there's that one guy that wants a red Bumblebee, but just in general. But Glyph is a lot more of a doable thing. Yeah. I could see a black Bumblebee repaint before I'll see a Cliff Jumper.
Yeah. If they could remold it into Cliff Jumper, then it's like I would only buy it if it was tap out. So I really need my masterpiece glyph and
Want
tap
your
out.
turquoise masterpiece toy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is also reported that this is going to be a Amazon Japan exclusive, but as we get closer to the date, you know, I got to think that this is something that we're all going to get. We just haven't found out yet.
I've gotten that kind of stuff in the past. Like here, let me just pull one out. Like when Prowl came out, you know, this is the Amazon launcher that they gave, and it was like, oh hey, you know, and it was like the only way you could get your perfect G1 toy Prowl is if you got it through Amazon Japan, because if you actually own the G1 masterpiece Prowl, he doesn't really have that chrome big cannon there. He just has that little, I don't know, emasculated small ones, you know, so and so I think that that's kind of the gimmick that Amazon Japan is going with, is it's like you could get your perfect show character, but if you want to go like G1 perfect, you have to go through them, and they'll give that accessory that does that, because literally that's all it is. You're getting this faceplate that makes it, oh hey, it's G1 Toy B, you know, and not even completely. It's just the face, not the whole head, you know.
You know, some third-party company is going to end up coming out with just that faceplate for the people that, you know, don't end up going that route. So.
Oh, definitely. And also, and I always say this, we'll see what Hasbro gives us, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at a good example is always Grimlock, because like when Masterpiece Grimlock first came out in Japan, he came with the waiter outfit and the serve tray and you know, all the weird stuff. And the e-hobby one was the one that came with the crown. And when the Hasbro version came out, it came with the crown. It came with the harder to get accessory at the time, anyhow. So, and the more expensive accessory.
Didn't the comic version of Grimlock come out after the Hasbro one, though?
No, it came out in between.
Did it?
Yeah. 2008, I want to say. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, moving on to this piece of information. Captured Prey reported that the upcoming exclusive repaint of Masterpiece Streak will not, in fact, be homage to the Diaclone Blue version of the figure, as many had speculated, but an all-silver version similar to the G1 Blue Streak toy, or, you know, basically what we know as Silver Streak. So it's going to be a lighter shade of silver than the first release, and without the black hood.
See, that just doesn't
My pre-order got canceled
legitimate to me.
Yeah.
I just don't see why they would do that.
Now they also ended up tweeting right after that by Capture Prey, and this is what they said: the blue version of Masterpiece Blue Streak will be released later this year or beginning of next year. We are still negotiating with Takara. And that's what, you know, they said. So I don't know if they're negotiating with Takara or if that's what they're reporting on.
See, and it's funny because like that all silver Blue Streak, like that to me that would have been like a Hasbro thing, you know.
Yeah.
That would have been our release, and they decide not to do the, you know, the carbon fiber hood, as I call it, you know, just to make things different. Just like how like our Rodimus was more toy accurate, while the Japanese MP09 was more show accurate in terms of the deco and the colors and everything. But I mean, this is weird. To do an e-hobby release that's already expensive and something that's less demanding, you know, like, oh wow, we were all really waiting for that all silver Streak, you know.
Yeah, I was like, I with the blue one, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to buy.
Oh yeah, everyone would have jumped
mold,
on
you know, repaint of this thing. Yeah, so as soon as I heard that, I went directly to where I was pre-ordering, and I was like, yeah, cancel that sucker. So, but yeah, if they end up coming out with the blue version later on or beginning of 2015, then yeah, I'm definitely back
Same
on.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
In a heartbeat.
All right, getting into things that are a little bit more expensive. Ulti Metal Series UM03 Megatron. This guy is, or at least the Optimus Prime is 17 inches tall, and he retailed for $1,299.95, but he's on sale at TF Source, so probably other places as well, for $959.95. So, and he has a scheduled release of March 2014. So, if we look at Optimus Prime, and that's kind of the height and price that we see with him, this is probably going to be somewhere around the same. I mean, you're not going to pay that much for Optimus Prime. This guy's going to be like $200. You know,
this thing better turn into a real gun that shoots bullets at that price.
Or, I have a funner idea. It better wake me up every morning and like a little, chibi voice say, "I'm going to take over the world" or something. For that kind of
Even
money.
then, that would be cheaper to engineer. This whole thing doesn't make sense because, I mean, like, think about $900 and what exists from the premium toy market, not just Transformers, but in general, like Hot Toys and anything of that matter, and nothing's $900. Like,
yeah,
Paul, how much was the
almost
Batmobile?
$1,000.
Paul, how much was the Batmobile for Hot Toys? It wasn't $900, was it? Lost your sound again, Paul.
Oh, we can't hear him again. That sucks. He's just talking. That sucks. We can't hear you anymore.
But it's just like, I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, what could this thing possibly be made out of or do, or even on an engineering level? I mean, we think about Masterpiece Toys and how that's supposed to be the peak of engineering, and at most they've only been $250 after the yen conversion. So it's ridiculous when you think about it. Like, what is the story with this? Unless these photos belie themselves and this thing is like 6 feet tall or something.
Yeah, well, the Optimus Prime's only 17 inches tall.
Oh,
Here's the kicker: it does not transform.
oh, even better. Jeez.
Oh my goodness!
So does it have multiple hands? Does it, like, I mean, it's just it's so weird. Like, I look at this and go, what is this? What is the reason for this? Is this a super limited item? There's got to be something to it that explains it, because otherwise it is the most ridiculous pricing. Unless there's a digit has been missed and it's supposed to be $70 instead of $700 or whatever.
Well, I'm saying that's what it is at Big Bad Toy Store. TF Source it was actually coming out at $1,300, and then they're like, hey, 26% off, $960.
$1,300. Like, within
initially,
Transformers,
they had it up for
$1,300 gets you any Transformer toy ever made. Anything you could think of. Any lucky draw Transformer toy. 90% of prototypes. Yeah. Like, that's ridiculous.
Probably
I think
like a real life Browning.
Back.
So.
Okay. Now, how much did the Hot Toys Batmobile cost? Since I'm still stuck on that.
The Hot Toys Batmobile was I want to say it was like $750.
There you go.
All right.
I mean, you factor in tax and all that stuff. But I want to say it was. I mean, yeah, these are not very. I just did the review I just recorded the review of the Kid Logic Optimus Prime, which is that's $100. And somebody had asked me, why do you like that and you don't like the Ultra Metal Optimus Prime? And I said, well, number one, I don't see much of a difference. There's die cast in it. That's fine, whatever. It's 17 inches. We can Masterpiece Optimus Prime that looks exactly like it. It's just a little bit shorter, and it's a whole lot cheaper. So why do I want to pay that much money for a 17-inch tall Optimus? It doesn't make sense. And Megatron, you're just wasting money if you ask me. I mean, if you have this stuff, it's just a waste of money.
That is for people that have richer blood than me. So yeah, if you got $1,300 just burning a hole in your pocket and you don't know what to buy,
still don't buy this.
No, it's a waste. It's a total waste.
You're sitting on oil field money.
Well, if you thought that was expensive, this is from Prime One Studios, Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime.
This is where I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth, because I'm looking at this and I already want to buy this thing.
How much is this thing?
This is like
almost
$2,000. Yeah, $2,000 is what you're looking at here.
Why?
In all fairness, this is 30 inches tall.
Okay.
Okay.
So I mean, it's bigger, and they're basing the price. We don't actually know the price. They're basing the price on the Revenge of the Fallen Megatron that came out 2 years ago. I think it was, and that price was roughly around $2,000 as well.
So will this one not only wake me up, but also hand me a glass of orange juice and say
That's what
something
I'm
positive?
saying. This thing better hop off that stand and go make me some breakfast.
It's ridiculous. Like, you know what? I think it's companies that are doing the like let's tell them to jump and see how high they'll jump. You know, it's like let's see if people actually pay.
I look at this differently than the Optimus Prime and Megatron, because when you zoom in and look at all the detail and intricacy of it, it blows away the G1 Optimus Prime and Megatron from Ultra Metal or whatever that is.
But the thing is, the thing that bothers me is that like we all collect stuff outside of Transformers also. What statue of this nature outside of even Transformers costs that kind of money? Nothing I could think of. Again, there was like those Hot Toys limited edition Baroness and Sideshow collectibles and all of that. These like tall statues, and those things on top of this have interchangeable parts and heads and everything. And they weren't $2,000. They weren't even $1,000. They were like $600.
No.
Like it's just I can't wrap
you're
my
correct.
mind around. Maybe this thing lights up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it does have light up features, and you can see some of that nice detail all throughout here. I mean, they did not spare any as far as making detail. I mean, the mirrors here, I mean, they look real, and you can see here on the smokestacks the little different cuts and little diamonds throughout here. And it looks like he's kind of a battle damage.
I may not go the route of getting Optimus Prime or Megatron, but the Bumblebee one that they teased at, I think it was Toy Fair, is probably one I'm going to get. I'm one of those people that I like Bumblebee. I mean, I fucking bought the car for I like Bumblebee. So, sue me. But, I mean, the detail on these is incredible. I can't get over how real they look, and that's, I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit down and think pretty hard about getting this guy, because you're absolutely right, Daniel. I got the premium format Black Hole Stormtrooper, which I think that's only 18 inches. But that is $350. I mean, that's pretty pricey in of itself. But
it's not $2,000.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, is it that impressive? And that I don't know. That's the biggest thing. That's one of those things where if I have the extra money sitting there, I'm going to have to see this thing in person. And I don't even know. I actually emailed Sideshow, my contact at Sideshow, and I said, "Are you going to be getting this?" Because I think it was them that offered it here in the the Megatron. They offered the Megatron here in the United States. If they do, I'm going to say I'm coming down to your shop, and I want to look at this thing and see if it is actually worth that $2,000 price tag.
Tell you what,
yeah, that's another thing too. Like. Obviously, I would probably still never buy this at $2,000, but it's one of those things I want to see it in person. It's the same thing. No one buys a car online. They go see the car, they go for a test drive, and then they decide to drop the 4 digits or 5 digits in some cases. In this case, this is like buying a car. You literally have to be in person and literally take it for a test drive before you even decide to put this in your house.
I mean, you could almost probably buy a used 18-wheeler and just paint it Optimus Prime for not too much more.
You know what? The funny thing is that like even the Camaro B, maybe in 10 years from now it'll be a $3,000 car or something, and that's still almost the same price as the statue. So
I'll buy the upper half of the Statue of David at $2,000, please.
Yeah.
Just the upper half. I don't need the other.
Oh, Ferric, this thing here.
All right, so a little bit of Botcon 2014.
All right, let everybody just shut up and let Protoman go off on his tangent about this.
Are we going to disagree about this? Because I love it. I think it's awesome.
Well, it's not that. It's because it's weird how they went about this, because the character of Ferric was a literally 4-panel appearance character in the old Marvel books, and in the UK books.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was he never transformed. But if you saw what his alt mode looked like, what was very interesting was it looked a lot like what is, say, sideways from Cybertron, also known as Noise Maze, and also the Scourge from the Classics line, or whatever it was released on Hunt for the Decepticons.
Right.
So it's very weird that they chose, first of all, the Cyclonus mold. But then people then give the argument, well, he appeared in Last Stand of the Wreckers recently, and he was kind of a Cyclonus-looking robot mode. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But it's so niche, and it's so weird. And while that does have a place exclusively with Botcon stuff, because that's the whole point of Botcon, but again, going with the theme that we have this year with 30th anniversary, and this is a box set figure. This isn't the free figure. This isn't the souvenir figure that you have a choice. Oh, maybe I'll buy it, maybe I won't. This is the box set figure. This is, you get your 30th anniversary, 30th anniversary of Transformers, 20th anniversary of Botcon, box set, and here you go, and it's Farrick.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you said, with it being such a obscure character, and honestly, with me being an IDW fan, Last Stand of the Wreckers type stuff, I'm all over, the whole last.
I don't know. He just died there.
Yeah, cut up.
It wasn't because of me, of course.
I don't think I'm able to talk anymore.
And the interesting thing too, his gun is actually based off of also one of the characters that appeared in the Marvel Comics named Torpedo that also shared the same body type. So again, it's like I said, I totally expect this from Botcon, but I think it's a weird year to do it.
But FunPub has said that they're not.
He's back.
Oh. What just happened?
Dakota, you knew Dakota was going to come back and get his words in. I love the Botcon nerds.
He's back and better than ever. Come on, Dakota. We must hear your voice.
Well, I mean, what I was saying though, Daniel, was FunPub has said that this box set though has no bearing on the 30th anniversary. They're not doing a 30th anniversary celebration at Botcon, which I think is dumb as shit. But they're like, we're not doing it because Hasbro's already doing their thing. So, I mean,
Hasbro's.
I don't. But even still, isn't this like the 20th anniversary for Botcon?
Exactly.
It's the 30th anniversary for the brand. It's the 20th anniversary of Botcon. I
completely agree. I think it's such a niche character that it's really stupid.
Like it's such a weird, pile of things to ignore.
Yeah.
At least it's a cool mold, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, move on to the next thing. Is one of the guests announced, and Samantha Newark is basically Ariel, or also which is Alita 1, and also most of us know her as Jim. So
Jim. Yeah.
And the interesting thing actually is, I think the reason why she's coming to Botcon is because they do something called GemCon, which is like Botcon, it kind of travels around all over the place. But the thing with GemCon is that it's not just landlocked to the United States; it's something that actually travels the world. And this year, GemCon is actually going to be in North America. It's actually going to be in Canada this time, in Toronto. And I think that because they're doing GemCon and they invited her, and she's, this is an actress that really doesn't really do much today if you actually look at her her resume. So I think, she comes up out of nowhere, and probably they're like, hey, we could pull her in. And I mean, again, as a Transformer fan, it's Ariel. Okay, it's not even Alita 1, it's Ariel. Who was just that one limited role, and she did, I think, some incidental characters, and she was also
facing Vegeta.
Yeah, exactly.
So not really a big deal.
It's kind of like when they got the kid who played what's his name from season 5. Oh man, Tommy Kennedy. When they got him, and everyone was like, okay, sure. Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, hey, Botcon, that's awesome, I guess. It's Gem. I think that's more exciting.
Yeah. They should just say that. Yeah, you'll know this lady is Jim. Otherwise, no one's gonna know who she is. Now, we looked at this first photo of this Rampage, and then this one. Well, this is the newest updated photo of him in his robot mode. And Paul, I know you said something about kind of his head, or it might look a little bit small, and you thought that it might be because of the angle. Does this kind of change the way you think about it, or do you still think it's kind of small or unproportioned? Or any of you guys?
I really like how in the alt mode it still looks kind of crab-like with the ship. Like I kind of really dig that they, obviously they chose that mold for many different reasons, but on top of that, that alt mode is it's still very reminiscent of what he used to be, and that's pretty cool that it could still be encapsulated in a vehicle mode.
Okay. Oh, we do. Everybody's dropping like flies. Just a little quick heads up, depending on when you watch this, I guess. It being March 15th, membership deadline, if you want this figure for free from the Transformer Club, is March 16th, so tomorrow. So anytime after that, the 17th, you're not going to be able to get this figure for free then. He probably will be up later on, though.
All right. Now that my thing is working again.
And usually with a lot of this stuff, too, the club store usually has extras. These things don't sell out anymore, so they'll probably be a chance.
Oh, I just that one picture that you showed, and Pete has said that it's just a bad figure to photograph with, and I don't believe that whatsoever. You have that overhead image. That head is like way set back. It just doesn't look good on that body, I don't think. I mean, I think the body is fine. That one right there, that just looks way too small, I think. Definitely not a fan of it, just by looking at the pictures.
It's probably something that you'll probably have kind of a different opinion about once you get it in your hand. As far as the paint goes, I think the paint job is like really good. How it kind of blends in here with the yellow and orange with the red.
I think it's a lot better than the what do you call it? Transmutate, in my opinion.
That's scary looking thing.
Yeah, Transmutate. Look, I don't even know why they bother with that. That was just. I don't know what they're thinking.
Oh, Dakota's not here to talk about that either.
Would be a whole lot. We wouldn't be sitting here.
All right, and getting into the third-party news here, we have our first looks at the second figure from TFC Toys, not Protectobots. So this is the not Hotspot. We can see him in his fire truck mode here. Gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of TFC, and I'm not gonna, get this. I'm gonna wait for like maybe Make Toys to make one, but this looks really nice. This is pretty nicely detailed. I like the ladder that moves and extends and stuff like that as well.
I've always had a soft spot for the Protectobots because that was actually my first combiner that I had when I was really young, and I really want to see the robot mode for this because when that repaint of Inferno came out, I believe it was the GDO repaints. I ran to get that hotspot one because it was just like, oh man, something that actually looks nice of that character, because there's just that character has always been shafted over and over when it came to releases. It was going to get a Fire Convoy RID Optimus Prime repaint from Botcon, and never happened. There was the planned repaint to get. It was going to be a titanium figure. That didn't happen. And then it just became repaint after repaint from Legends and all kinds of little stupid things. And then finally, we got that repaint from Inferno, and it was actually pretty darn good. And so I'm really curious what the robot mode is for this, because he's always been a kind of an Optimus Prime-looking character in robot mode. So it should be interesting to see how they go about this.
And more than likely next week is, because that's usually how I've seen them do, is 1 week, here's a couple of whatever, alternate form images, and then the following week we end up seeing images of the robot form or whatever, combined form.
Indeed.
And another thing by TFC Toys, you have Ares basically you have Rampage here in his form. Again, not a big fan of the TFC stuff, but if you decided to go with that version of the Predaking, then this is pretty much what you have to, look forward to. That arm assembly does look quite nice. I'm just not a big fan of the other two.
Which is what everyone's going to have it in anyway. So
exactly.
That's the only mode that should matter really, and then with a lot of these combiner third-party stuff, because most people are going to keep it in that mode. So
it also takes up less shelf space as well for collectors. All right, and just a few new images of the FansToys Scoria, or also known as Not Masterpiece Slag or Slug. You can see them here. Man, this thing looks so great, and a little bit of extra information there that they said on their page that they're going to end up sending this to your online retailers about the 15th of March. So they'll end up getting them in probably about the end of next week or beginning of the week after. So that's another one of those things that all the things that you had scheduled to pick up on March, they're going to be all coming out at the end of the month. So make sure you save your money for that.
What's the thing on Grimlock's back? What's the story with that?
It's platform shoes.
Yeah. And this is going to be a little extra cannon form right here. And
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking
you
like
split
a foot
it
for a combiner.
Well, you split it, and you can see right here on Grimlock's feet that they plug into the bottom there. So it
to
kind of
make
gives
them taller.
To give them platform shoes to make them taller, so it looks a little bit more skin.
Okay.
Well, they could have made this guy maybe just an inch shorter.
Shorter? Yeah, that's kind of
seems like that would be easiest.
Why put more engineering cost?
He's going to have flames for his mouth, which is really cool. You're going to have quite a bit of die cast in this as well. Some very nice detail.
I had to restart my. I hate this thing. Those are the feet thing, Daniel, to make Optimus Prime taller in robot mode.
Grimlock.
Yeah, on the back of Grimlock. Yeah, not Optimus Prime. It's the things that make Grimlock taller in his robot mode. But what makes me curious is show that picture again with Slag and the fire coming out of his mouth.
There we go.
That looks like the flame that comes with the reissue.
The Grimlock sword.
It's possible.
Yeah. We lost
kind of.
Oh, we lost him again. All right. Well, the next set of pictures, it just kind of shows you the articulation in very close-up images. So there you can see the articulation as far as in the shoulder, and there's a little side view right there.
I think it looks gorgeous. I think it just kind of sucks that it's so tall.
But they are coming out with their own version of Grimlock, though, right?
Well, no, that is another third-party company.
Oh, that's another third party?
Yeah.
So they're only doing the 4?
Correct.
Okay.
And there's a very close-up look at the assembly inside the leg there, which is really nice looking.
Similar transformation to the original G1, it looks like. Slider. Slider in a panel.
And this is probably my favorite picture out of them all, because we were kind of wondering from some of the earlier pictures taken of this guy that it looked like they had him like leaning forward because maybe he was so back heavy. Obviously not the case. This guy is clearly leaning back quite a bit, and he's still being able to balance. So that's incredible.
Probably die cast in the seat to weigh it down.
Yeah, it's got die-cast here, also die-cast in the toes section whenever he's in his alternate form, and also die-cast in his horns. So,
awesome.
Can't wait for that guy. Some new images of Dakota Kronos, and I kind of hated on this figure whenever first released, but it is changed quite a bit. They've listened to the fans quite a bit, and this thing looks nice. And there is comparison with, this is actually MP10 Optimus Prime, and there's Prowl, so those aren't like the G1s. That's how large this figure is going to be.
That's going to be expensive.
I believe it's at $159, $169. So
I'll spend $40 on a leader class Jetfire. Thank you.
yeah, and there you can see him leaning back as well. And I believe they said that this is going to have diecast in it too. So there's a little bit closer look at him right there. And they kind of show the height scale to where here you had in G1 Optimus and Jetfire, and then you see him here in Masterpiece form.
I mean, I understand where they're going with that, but again, it's one of those things that it's a bad time for like if this thing came out a year ago, before we knew about a leader class Jetfire toy coming out or anything, I think there would have been a bigger demand for something like this than now. Now the itch has kind of been scratched, I feel, for a lot of fans with that leader class coming.
Yeah. And FansToys is coming out with their rendition of Jetfire too, aren't they?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
FansToys is also coming out with one. And you know what? They might continue on with it, or they may cancel. It really depends on. They'll probably listen to what fans say. If this is my masterpiece, Jetfire, or if they're like, this is kind of my classics, then they may still come out with it because you're selling to a different fan there. Where Dakota Toys are actually coming out with another Jetfire as well, where it's a more anime-looking one, which is called Titan. So their first two figures, they're both Jetfires. And
real quick, Optibotimus said that was going for around $170.
Yeah. Okay. So the 169.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't got your Jetfire fix yet, another new company called Megaforms MF01 Sky Guardian. These are the prototype images. It's going to stand about 10.5 inches tall. You can see it here with kind of the little mock-up comparisons. And
I think that's too much from the third-party guys at this point.
They're going a little Jetfire crazy.
Yeah, and not to mention, it's just the pricing is always a little more. The quality could go either way. It could be really good or real bad, and that's always a roll of the dice when it comes to third-party stuff. Judging by these images, the die-cast areas would be primarily die-cast. Doesn't look like there's a lot here except for the landing gears and stuff. And I don't know. Again, the thing is that the way I see it with a lot of people with third-party, it's really got to be something that they'll have a difficulty getting from Hasbro. All those combiner teams, the Predaking, and even when Giant came out and Hercules, that was stuff that was filling people's gaps because they knew that Hasbro just wouldn't do what they wanted. But it's so weird now that all these third-party guys are doing Jetfire. And what's even more interesting is that a lot of these third-party guys, their factories are the same factories that are used by Hasbro. And so chances are a lot of those guys, someone on the inside would have known about that leader class Jetfire toy coming way before any of us knew anything about it.
Well, the problem with this one is the Dakota Toys and the FansToys is going to be in masterpiece scale. They're obviously 10.5 inches tall, and they're posing it with other generations figures. So
yeah, it's going for that classics kind of shelf.
So, I mean, no one's going to buy this whenever you have that's what Hasbro's going to be coming out with.
Exactly. But that's just it. It's very weird, what the mentality must have been at the time. So many people are going to have that fix already. It's kind of like if a third-party company came out with let's say a bludgeon toy that already does what the Hunt for the Decepticons bludgeon already did or something. It's just there has to be third-party guys. I feel they really need to start focusing on stuff that isn't going to be in the near future of Hasbro's plans. And unfortunately, a lot of that stuff really isn't in demand. No one's asking for Pretender shells, or Action Master characters. But
speak for yourself.
I love Pretender shells because of Master Force and stuff. But it's just at the same time, it's just I think a lot of these third-party companies in China, they're really thinking 84, 85, 86, and they're stuck in that mentality. It's let's do third-party Dinobots. Okay, we did that. Let's do Masterpiece third-party Dinobots. Okay, we did that. Let's do. It seems like they're just going in that same cycle of 84, 85, 86 characters and not leaving that area, despite the fact that the brand has had 30 years of fiction and stuff that you could pull from. But again, that's something that I keep seeing every time when I do the third-party panel at TFCon. It's always the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think this was a good decision as far as your first toy, trying to get in there.
I don't think it's going to do well at all. I think that a lot of people are going to wait. See, like something like this.
Yeah, this is a much better idea.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what third-party guys need to start focusing on, because this is something. But no, because this is something Hasbro can't do, even if they wanted to.
GoBots.
Unique Toys UT D01. I believe it's pronounced Salmore. I'm not really sure, but basically your cycle, and these images were from Robot Kingdom.
And this is great. This is something that, number one, while Hasbro owns the rights to the names from GoBots, they actually can't legally do designs that are invoking of the GoBots because those designs were originally owned by Bandai.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's something that's where the third-party guys come in and go, well, Hasbro can't do it even if they wanted to. We're going to fill that void. And that's stuff that, like, number one, we're never going to see a GoBot homage line. Every time Hasbro uses the GoBot's name, they actually use it in something that's almost kind of insulting to the original brand. It's like, oh, we're going to use it for a children's line, or we're going to use it for a spin-off movie line, auto-transforming, gimmicky kind of thing. They'll never use the GoBot name really for something that's, oh, we're going to do a GoBots line that's all homages to the original GoBot. They can't, even if they wanted to, but they just don't. So this is something that really is meeting that need. And the thing is, too, a lot of G1 collectors, I'm seeing this now, especially with TFCon, a lot of G1 collectors are finally completing their G1 collection, and now they're moving on to other things. And I'm seeing a huge demand now in GoBot stuff. So it's there.
Not
last year we had the exclusives that did very well, so the demand is there.
And also, not too long ago, I believe it's either X2 Toys or X-Transbots, which is coming. They're coming out with a wheelie,
yes.
but they're repainting it red, and I don't know.
No, Turbo.
Yeah, I guess that's the name. Yeah, I just don't know.
Turbo. Yeah, which is, again, it's great to see that stuff. It's absolutely great. And the thing is, Turbo, while the original GoBot toy doesn't really look like Wheelie's alt mode, the way that it was drawn by Hanna-Barbera in the cartoon has a very similar design, so it's very clever and works very well. I'm buying it. I'm not a guy who buys a lot of third party, but this is something stale for me for sure.
All right, and take a look at the next thing. Just Die Toys. This is going to be like basically your world's smallest Transformers, Ground Air Commander, Blitzwing. So, you see them right there in
this
package.
Is more so. This is just to fill the gap because it's the same guys like Justy Toys in the past. They used to do a lot of third-party world's smallest stuff. They did the Dinobots. They did a Astro Train, and so now they're doing that essentially.
Yeah, and I have the Astro Train, and it's actually pretty nice quality. Surprised
pretty
me
good quality for how small they are, exactly. So, I dig it.
They're babies.
Yep. That 6-shot that they released a while back is really nice.
See, that's one that I haven't gotten yet. I gotta need that thing.
The great shot isn't that great, but it's okay.
And here's our alternate forms.
What train goes up rocks like that?
I saw something on Twitter to where or I think it was Little Formers, to where it was a Blitzwing, and he was making fun of Astro Train. He was like, "Got anyone to lay down on the tracks for you yet?" He's like, oh, "Screw you guys! I still got like a shuttle mode."
Dakota's back. Let's hope.
All right, and Microblaze Creations. This is obviously the image that we looked at a while back. You're getting the Onslaught, the chest piece. You're getting the extra hands and the little weapons and such. And that's basically what it looks like. But if you do have the Takara or San Diego Comic-Con, or not Takara, but the San Diego Comic-Con version or the Platinum version, So this is all stuff that we looked at a while back. He's actually going to come out with the extra little pieces that are painted down here. So 7 pieces, 2 things for Brawl, and then I believe 5 for Swindle, so that you can have him in those colors as well. So he's automatically going to be coming with those things.
Then the Onslaught's still going to have that kind of greenish looking color to it that the retail one did.
Well, the Onslaught, he can go with either way.
Don't you also have to permanently modify your figures to get those pieces attached to them?
I've heard that like the it's either the arms or the legs or something on Blastoff have to like completely come off for that arm mode to work. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, something like that.
I think this is the best route to go if you're going to want to upgrade your Cybertron Bruticus, though. It looks quite nice, and it's proportioned finally with a Voyager size Onslaught.
Yeah.
You got another route you could go. Actually, there's many routes you can go, but this is Echo TF and X-Transbot paired up and made a Fall Cybertron Bruticus add-on. You have 2 different versions. There's the San Diego Comic-Con Platinum Edition version that you see right here, and then you have the Dakar version. So, there you go.
See, I think that's where you're really going to get your, I don't know, I guess monies and play values worth for the set out of, because you still get to keep all the stuff attached to it. It doesn't look the best by any means, but you still get to kind of keep everything neat, I guess.
Not having to modify anything.
I wonder if you the parts that you have to take off for the other version, are those necessary for combining or anything? Because what I'm wondering is, why not just buy the Onslaught figure and then buy that extra the other one and just combine the 2 sets? Granted, you're paying a lot more money to get Bruticus looking good, but
yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how that works. I will look into it.
I mean, you could also, if you just wanted the Onslaught out of this, then you.
I like the way that looks. So that looks pretty nice.
You could obviously find people that would be willing to buy, all the other pieces. So, make some of that money back. Yeah, but I mean, it looks so much nicer, with the thigh section and stuff like that. So these are all the little pieces that it comes with.
Good articulation.
It's what Hasbro should have done to begin with.
Yeah.
Instead of giving us like a Sound Blaster, a Fall of Cybertron Sound Blaster.
All right, got a few new images of SXS add-on kit for Uranus or whatever they call it. But basically, you're not Superion here. And you can see him with his little grin pose, or his grin faceplate. And then he also has the mask version here to look a little bit more like in the show. There's a grin one right there. And just kind of a steady look right there. There's the little mask version there.
Mask version looks pretty cool.
So just some new images on that. Then you have a double dealer add-on. This is DMYD03. And you're basically getting the huge rocket here that just snaps on top of the cannon. And it can also plug into his arm. So, I mean, they're just kind of clear pictures at the moment. Looks like he's also... the way his cannon is, if you had the original, you could separate it, and like the back part, became his gun, and then you would just plug on the front section onto his shoulder. Looks like they kind of came with his own gun as well, so to kind of mimic that. But yeah, I gotta think, once you buy the figure and you add this add-on kit, I don't know if people will still be that satisfied with them, to where you may be like me. Since they just are releasing this, I'm probably just going to wait for a third-party company that I trust to make me a proper one, because also I don't want a jet as the prehistoric bird mode or whatever that thing is.
I want to know, why didn't they take the pictures behind with a black background so you can actually see the actual items a little bit better?
it's at some hotel somewhere, and they're like, hey, I'm just gonna put a transformer here and take pictures. Everybody's gonna want to buy it.
The factory is indeed actually a part of the hotel. It's awesome how things work over there, but I don't know, man. I just don't care for the Blitzwing mold that much. I mean, it's got too many just structural problems for me. I mean, it doesn't matter how many add-on kits you come out with. I'd rather, me being a robot display kind of guy, it still doesn't do it for me. I mean, it does a good job, but it just nothing to justify it.
But what if it was made into a die atlas? Would you buy it then?
Then I would be like, take all that like kind of just neutrality and turn it into anger and negativity, and that's where I would be.
All right.
All right, next thing is from Dr. Wu, and you have the DWP19W. These are little add-on guns, stuff like that for Prowl here. And he comes
those
with
who
the cannon
say my Prowl
and
needs a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
and this little pistol right here.
Springer meet Prowl. Yeah.
That I don't understand, but okay, sure.
And so just a couple of pictures right there for you.
Is that why would you do that? Is that a comic reference?
No,
Because
it
Prowl
isn't.
and
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I'm looking at it. I'm just like, if there was a Rhinox repaint, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's even those are kind of goofy looking Gatling guns even to give Rhinox.
Oh, Dr.
That
Wu.
does-
Come on, Dr. Wu, get with it.
It looks cool.
They're drunk, man. Dr. Wu's drunk, bro.
Gosh.
Next thing that they're coming out with is a little add-on for the G2 sideswipe. So you got the bazooka cannon right here, and
Golly.
picture.
How could he make that when why not make the bandolier? That's what's missing.
Now I heard that they're actually coming
Does
out with.
Dr. Wu
that as
just
well.
have like a 3D printer that he gets bored with shit? He's like, I've got to make something crazy.
It could be another one of those. You remember whenever they were teasing the Rainstorm for Springer, Generation Springer, and we didn't really know we were getting the sidearm? Maybe they'll be including the bandolier kind of like they did the sidearm.
Maybe. Because honestly, that's the third-party thing that's really missing from that sideswipe is the bandolier.
Yeah.
And next thing, you have the Beast Hunters Ultra Magnus, the hammer here. That I believe there's two different colors, but this is the Christmas version right here. This is
That I
Dr.
dig.
Wu, full gear, and you also have the gun as well. And for Dakota, it comes in foam. So
It's like, whenever we took a look at the thing for Beast Hunters Prime, and I was like, man, I'm really going to get that underslung gun for the Voyager. I put the Star Saber in my Beast Hunters Prime's hand, and I tried taking it out, and it just breaks. So I'm not going to directly say I want this for fear of it something stupid happening to my Beast Hunters Magnus, but I want it indirectly.
I dig it.
Superstition.
Looks really nice. Looks really, really nice. Very show accurate to the model.
some nice translucent blue plastic in there, and the gun as well. Kind of looks like it's lighting up. Very nice. And this is Moonbase Tom of their BA-50 cal. So there you go. I don't know what this goes to, but
I think it's for a Halo toy.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Something got mixed up.
and look, it transforms.
Oh, well, there it is. There's the connection. It transforms.
And comes apart like a part film.
Yeah. So there you go.
Maybe it's,
There's the bandolier I need.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take it from that.
Maybe it's something for like, I don't know. I'm not getting anything. I was thinking some like Garrus 9 prop for anyone who's making a Last Stand of the Wreckers diorama.
Could be.
There you go. All right, and there is this company called Clone Droid. This is going to be their CD01. It's their not Mastermind Creations Hexatron, which is kind of weird, which is a not 6-shot. So basically, they are knocking off the Mastermind Creations Hexatron. First, we had just kind of this image here and a silhouette, and you can see that when I looked at this, I was like, that looked exactly like Hexatron. and they got these pieces right here, which this is going to be die-cast. So they're adding a couple die-cast pieces. They're not knocking off the box, though. So they're going to be coming out with their own box, so don't get confused when you look online. So that's one positive. Coming out with a little bit different head here, to where he's going to have a little bit higher, I guess, little ears. I'm just going to call them ears because I don't know what else to call them, to make him a little bit more accurate. And they're also coming out. They saw that Mastermind Creations said that they're coming out with the Overlord. So what did they do whenever they said upcoming products? Overlord.
It's like, hey, you haven't come out
company just a trolling company? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And here's all the little pieces right here, because someone was asking if they were just the diecast pieces, just add-ons to Hexatron, and no, this is basically showing you right here that no, they are putting this guy together, and he's going to be a figure you can buy if you don't want to buy the Mastermind Creations Hexatron. So I'm just like, really, you're ripping off a third-party company? That's.
Did you read their motto though? We will improve the original items and update the accessories that you can get more advantages. Clone Droid Toys always be your side.
Always be. Love the English.
English. Yeah,
Always be your side.
Interesting.
that's the best part of a lot of third-party things, when you get the box and you're reading the package stuff and you can't understand it.
And the fact that they actually call themselves Clone Droid, and
Yeah.
they're basically just cloning stuff off. Maybe that was intended, but all right.
Just
Another
a Star Wars name.
knockoff. This is the knockoff of Buster Optimus Prime, and this guy's got some in-hand images. This is kind of sloppy, and as you can see, I wanted to basically put this up for you guys. Maybe if you buy knockoffs, then here you go. Also, that way you can identify knockoff between authentic if you have it. But you can see that you got like a piece of the sprue still here, so they didn't fall that down. And whenever we get a little bit closer shots here, you'll see that there's already stuff breaking on this thing. I don't know how many times this guy has transformed them, but yeah, he does show you that.
Meh.
Yeah.
Really, it's not 2009 anymore.
This is already broken and cracked all up.
Wow. That's thought that's where the gun separated though.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't own this figure, so. Or any Bayformer for that matter, but.
A really good figure. I love the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus.
Well, what's Paul saying?
Something about they knocked it off.
Yeah.
Oh, it just amazes me that they look at that figure and like, hey, let's knock that one off.
The next thing is from Machine Boy. They have teased that they're coming out with an Omega Supreme. We've seen 3 images. They also said that they're coming out with the Skylinks as well. So these are the first 3 images that we got from these guys. They've put up another one as well. I wish they would spend more time on actually maybe making the prototype so we can actually see what it looks like versus, hey, here's another teaser image of, you know, what kind of figure we're doing here. So that's basically in the discussion if you guys want to talk about that or post new pictures when you see them.
If
they actually come out. X2 Toys Generations Orion Pax trailer. So I know Optimus Spirit Prime, whenever he first saw this, he was like, maybe a point blank. But this is actually going to be the Orion Pax trailer, if he needed one for some reason.
But it's not gonna like upgrade or anything. It's just gonna be like a little house
I
trailer.
forget because they first talked about this months ago, and we haven't heard anything in like months. And then this is like another teaser image. The first one was just kind of an animation thing.
Going back to what I was saying, this is just pulling strings from 84, 85, 86 all over again. It's getting so tiring. We just before now another Omega Supreme. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm so concerned about it anyways. I mean, I sold my Orion Pax a month
I
ago.
would like to say that if they made an animated Omega Supreme, I would buy the shit
That's
out of that.
different.
Yeah.
That's something that
Why not?
needs to be done.
And just a little update news. basically, this is what I got from Barnes & Nobles. This April marks the 35th anniversary of the Mecha-based Gundam franchise, and Barnes & Noble will be carrying several kits from numerous series. Bluefin announced these model kits are the same toys sold in Japan, so there's not a difference, but if you bought them in Japan or one of the Japan websites, or if you buy them in your local store here in the States. It says some Barnes & Noble stores will also sell Gundam action figures like Robot Spirits line.
Oh, yes.
Barnes & Noble they were testing out a handful of Gundam kits in select stores in 2013, so that is why some of your friends found them and you couldn't. And they're also going to have a much larger selection with a display at all 400 plus retail locations and including online. So I just put a couple of figures up here that I got. So
awesome. I'm going to be doing a lot more Barnes & Noble shopping now.
That way you don't have to pay that crazy import shipping prices. So.
And the robot spirits line, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what hooked me. I'm not really into the kits, but robot spirits.
And this was cited at Big Bad Toy Store. Robotech 30th anniversary 1/100 scale transformable figures expected to arrive on the third quarter of 2014. They're going to be at $29.99 each, or you can get the 4 of them at $99.99. It's going to include Max Sterling, Mirya, I have no idea how to say that, Roy, and Rick Hunter.
You didn't want to say Roy's last name, did you?
No.
Roy Fokker.
Yep.
These are what are going to be about like 6 inches or so.
1/100 scale of a Valkyrie. It's a little higher than 6 inches.
Yeah.
A little bigger than that.
So about your deluxe size.
Because a 1/144 Valkyrie, I have a few of those. Those are about a little bigger than a basic figure.
Yeah.
So do the math with that kind of.
And the 160 scale is the Jetfire.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Who wants to clear out the comments real quick before we get off here? I think our guest as well.
Let's see. What do I have here? We have Retro Robot Radio says we need a Target Master partners for that double dealer, so they can look like Knox and Scar, his Power Masters.
Yeah, the God Masters.
And, yeah. Charles says those Gatling guns just don't look right on an MP Prowl. Retro Robot Radio says Dr. Wu is making a set of G2 sideswipe weapons, and this is the first piece. Optimus Barrett Prime says, oh my god, hold Dakota back before he sees the foam insert. You saw there. He also states that Magnus upgrade is pretty sweet, though, and he's like, whoa, Clone Droid's motto is amazing, in my opinion. Or laughing my ass off. So that's what I have there.
I have this uncontrollable love for foam inserts. I wish a third-party company would make the nice like Botcon style boxes for souvenir figures, and I'd buy like 3 of each. No reason.
When are they coming out with a 3D printer for making foam inserts?
It would be great if Dakota would just be like, they give him his box set, he opens it, none of the figures are there, but he's not angry.
Because the foam is there, and that's what matters.
That's all that matters.
If he had the thing to make foam inserts, he'd be like Dr. Wu on some of the weapons there. He'd just be like making them for like figures that don't even exist yet.
Yeah.
He's got like all his Master of the Universe figures. They're all foam inserts.
He must have really loved like when they did that Runabout and Runamuck, and they had that foam insert you had to take off.
Yes. And they're doing it with Transmutating Rampage this year, and I was like, I gotta have them. I have like 10 of them.
He gets the box, he gets the toy. Yeah.
Just set that up on the shelf and display the foam in front of the toys, and then.
All right. Well, this
it's
got
the shadow.
All right. Well, any of you guys have anything before we get off? Because we've been on here for about an hour and a half, and I know that we have a show coming up, and also Optibotimus has a show coming up as well. But I'd like to thank all our guests, and if you guys want to tell people where they can find you, since we didn't do that at the very beginning.
Yeah. Good
Whoever
talk.
wants to start.
Anybody?
Okay, well, me or someone else.
I was asking the guests. Protoman, bam.
Yeah.
Tell people where they can find you.
They can find me on the internet. Protoman X on Twitter, Protoretro on YouTube. Go to cybertron.ca or TFW. You can find me on the boards there. Protoretro. A lot of guys at Botcon, they would come up to me and they do it, and they go like Protoretro. It's like,
Nice.
That's me using Windows Movie Maker back in the day.
Dude. Yes.
Anyways.
All right, and Paul.
And you still
Optibotimus.
use that same thing.
Yeah, I still use Windows. I use something else now, but
We got to do something about that. But I don't know if we would be able to get the same. Maybe we could just take the voice over and put it to a new animation or something for you.
probably.
Yeah, we could figure out something. I'm Optibotimus on Twitter, Team Botimus on Facebook, and just Optibotimus on YouTube.
And you also have your website
That's about
up
it.
as well now.
Oh, yeah, I get yelled at because I tend to forget that usually.
Optibotimus.
So, OptibotimusReviews.com.
All right. Great. Dakota?
PrimalSabbath at everything and everywhere except for TFW. It's different there.
Jaim?
Nope.
And Victory Saber 77 for me at Twitter and YouTube.
All right, and G1 Hextron at pretty much everything, all formats, where you can find me. So, all right, thanks a lot for everyone that watched the live stream or in the video form, and thanks a lot for our guests as well. Again, we're going to have the Aftercast on the same channel here, so it's going to be at Cybercast Network, and that's going to start at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, so here in about an hour and a half from now.
And email that address, not Victory Saber 77. Email Cybercast Network on YouTube if you want an invite.
So that means my phone's about to freaking blow up, isn't it?
Yeah, because we still have we got to figure out how to shut that off.
Yeah, because I looked at it, I saw I had like 33 emails, and I was like, whoa, I'm popular. And then it was like, oh no, that's the Cybercast email.
All right, well, thanks a lot, guys, and we will talk to you tonight.
Oh, no, you're not popular.
No, don't confuse yourself. So.